You know?
Smile.
But
Give us a poem.
I almost had I had a poem for yesterday. I wrote one years ago, but I couldn't find the whole thing. But here's the first verse. No corned beef for me. I'm going to eat a raw potato. Let's say goodbye to the British. See you later. I'm an Irish nationalist, right? Me and Sinn Féin. I'm a Sinn Féin organizer. You know. I couldn't find the copy though. I couldn't find the copy of the whole poem. One part is Irish patriots are under keys and locks, and Tony Blair wants to save the fox. You know, England, you can't hunt foxes, and you know, foxes running wild and all that other stuff. Somebody's always got to think that whatever you do is wrong. They want us to live the way they like. You know, I don't have a life, or I have one, but somebody always want to take the fun parts away.
Who needs church?
You know?
We're just going to come here more often.
Fun stuff.
Yeah.
Cocaine.
Hey, if you can keep this up for an hour, I won't even watch a movie. What do you think?
Oh, it's happened before.
Oh, we've done it.
At 8 o'clock,
Yeah, we've done it.
8 o'clock will go out for take 10 minutes though. He'll give you 10. Yeah, everybody comes back too quick, you know. But we're lucky to have Luis as a counselor. He's easy to get along with, and you know.
I can't understand him half the time.
I know. Yeah.
That's what
I exactly.
That's what's great about this.
I'm trying to figure it out.
I've been in this class like 6 weeks now and still thinks I'm Kurt. I don't know how that I get that. I still think it's who I am.
Let's see. Here's a joke. It's an old one, but about the hippie that was going to go to Nepal to see the Dalai Lama, and so.
Wait a minute. Say that again.
Yeah, say that one more time.
One more time so I can get the pronunciation correct.
I know, I've been saying it wrong.
I've been
Don't
saying it
make
wrong
me
for-
laugh.
The hippie, he started in California, and so he went all the way to New York and hitchhiked and, you know, worked his way over. And pretty soon he got on a cattle boat, and he worked across that way, and he went to Europe, and he started walking, and he walked across Italy and, you know, every place else. And pretty soon he see these big mountains, big castle up there. He said, yeah, the Dalai Lama's going to be there. I know he is. So sure enough, he climbed these mountains, and he was lucky that day. And they said, you know what?
Boy,
The Dalai Lama will see you.
I need a drink.
And he said, so the hippie, here's the Dalai Lama sitting here just like this. And the hippie seen him, he crawled out in front of him, he said, oh, I'm so glad I've worked, took me 2 years to get here. I want to find out the secret to eternal life. And the Dalai Lama said,
Oh, he said it right.
Where the hell did that come from?
Continue with this.
the Dalai Lama said, my son, do not go out with wicked women. Never drink alcohol, and do not take any illicit drugs. And the hippie said, you mean if I do those 3 things, I'll live forever? No, but it'll seem like it.
Dale High Lama.
You see, the Chinese warned...
Sound like blue collar guy, right?
yeah, oh, I am. Yeah.
Dale High Lama.
See, well, they had a name for all of us construction workers years ago. Crude and rude. Yeah, we're there. I was going to say something, not to Adam's face, because it would hurt his feelings, but you know, his language, which you never. Although I cuss worse than the worst drunken construction worker, which I have been a lot of times.
Who's Adam?
Adam. Oh, wasn't that
Kurt.
Kurt.
That's all right. We can make it
Yeah.
Adam now.
Yeah. Every other word was the F word, you know, and I'm thinking,
At least he got
man, the
4
guy's,
letters.
he's got to learn to either not talk or don't say so many cuss words, you know. And
I don't think either.
I mean,
not talking.
I don't think Adam could do that either.
Kurt, no way in hell.
Kurt, no way.
Adam, he's
But
a
Adam-
heck of a-
But I read another book. I read a lot. My wife's a librarian, but a guy on a construction job. I was working in a prison in Blythe.
That's a whole nother story.
We were staying in Ehrenberg, the little town in Arizona. Then we drive 20 miles in the morning to the there was two prisons. I worked on both of them. So this was the second one. This was 92, I think. Yeah, 92 or 93. And the guy brought me the book, The Sexual Criminal. And I said, his name was Sal Gonzalez. He said, Hank, I want you to read this. I said, okay, I'll read it. And sure enough, sexual criminals. The sadomasochists and all them. And there's actually
Preverts.
basically people that get off on statues and stuff. There is the necrophilia,
Let him keep going.
necrophilia. They just take them straight to the nut house, Although that reminds me of another joke about the guy that was went in front of the judge. He said, "Mr. Jones," said, "this is a terrible crime you've done. You've been convicted of necrophilia." And he said, "Judge," he said, I have something to say though." Judge said, "It better be good because I'm gonna send you right straight to the nut house for 30 years." He said,
She's a dead leg.
"It was my wife, and it was just like when she was alive."
That's sad.
Punchline was so bad.
Yeah.
It was tasteful.
Anyway, so this book that I read, The Sexual Criminal, this book was so bad that at night, I slept on the couch and there was a coffee table here, I wouldn't let it lay with me. This thing, because a lot of these, okay, to make a long story short, or a short story long, which I like to do, the bestiality, the women doing things with animals and men doing, that's another nut case. They send them to the nut house too. But there are some that get the gas chamber and, these are bad people. And the guy that wrote the book, it was written in 1948. He was a chaplain for the L.A. Police Department. And the very last thing that he said in this book was, people think their bad language doesn't make any difference, but the worse the language get, the worse the sexual criminals will become. Bingo! Does it make sense? Everywhere now, there's sexual criminals everywhere. And the language is worse and worse, where a civilization that advances, the language should get better. Now, I'm not a holier than thou. My language is bad. Not publicly, though. I do not cuss publicly. Outside, person to person, I can get bad. I can say some of the nastiest things you ever want to hear. But I don't do it publicly. But when I read that book, and then that guy's comments, the very last thing, I thought, wow, there it is. So that's just another. It's almost break time.
Be sure to pause the TiVo.
Yep. Bingo.
I'm just gonna not stop recording.
Be kind.
How long has it been? We're gonna have to get a little stand.
8.5
You
minutes.
need a tripod.
We need a little tripod.
I know, my arms are getting tired.
Right here under. She goes, "Oh, go have a cigarette or something." She goes out. It's still running.
He's like, all right, okay, so.
Yeah.
Oh no, my battery's going down. We gotta charge it.
That would be horrible.
She's like giving me an evil look. Why would you say that?
That's so unfair.